I want to talk about culture a little. I know we hit on it, and I was going to ask you a little bit about small versus large, but I feel like you did a pretty good job already hitting on that. This is the other thing I want to ask you about with culture, and I'm pretty sure I've told you this before, but if not, I'll give you credit here publicly to everybody. But when I went to that first, what was called HPF now, the Business Masterclass event, you said something there that literally when people ask about like big moments in our business, you said something that I still say was one of the single biggest things that changed our business. And what you said is you said every person that you hire has the potential to change your culture, so you better make sure you're hiring the right people. And at that point in our business, it had been growing. For a long time, Dave, Derek, and I would do all the hiring. We didn't necessarily enjoy it. So as soon as we got some people in roles that were willing to go do the hiring for those departments, like we got out of it. And coming in, I don't know if I've told you this fully, but coming into that event, I remember like week or two before, Derek and I were having lunch, and he goes, man, I look around and I feel like we've hired some people that I probably wouldn't have hired. And then I go to this event and you make that comment, and I came back from that and I said, hey, maybe we should get more involved in this process back in. And so we completely revamped our hiring process. We now have this like 5-step process that meet with different people, different times. And one of us as owners always did that final interview now. So can you maybe just talk about that concept and walk through the hiring process and why it is so important, because it's had a huge impact on our business and I know a lot of other people as well.
Yeah, one of the things I love about you, Cody, is that you do hear an idea and then you go and execute it, and then you execute it at a level that was beyond even the original teaching, which is the reason why if people go to the Business Masterclass, it almost looks like a giant victory lap for Cody and Dave and Advisors Excel, because I use a lot of your examples to say, all right, here's the idea, here it is. In a case study example personified to the nth degree. So yep. I do appreciate that. I mean, it's the greatest reward struggling to kind of put these ideas together is then you pass them, put them in front of people, and and many you're like are amused. They're intellectually entertained and amused, but then they don't do anything with it. I love the doers, the action takers, the appliers, and you, Dave, and many of the clients of yours as a result of your example are also those that I cherish the most, because you went out there and set the world on fire with these ideas. Just to give you definition of culture, right? Culture is that underlying operating code. It's an organization's essence. It's its ethos. It's its character. It's its personal philosophy. So if you want to set a standard so that you're hiring the right people, you're promoting the right people, you're recognizing the right people for the right things, it's super simple. It just comes down to getting clear about 2 things. Number 1 is what are your 3 core values. And it's not putting crap up on a wall. I mean, like, these are really how you make decisions. This is what you do and don't do based on these core values. Like, these are the reasons why you exist. This is your purpose. These are aspects of your mission, like what you're out in the world to do, need to be reflected in these 3 core values. And they need to be recited by everybody at any time, at any hallway conversation, because they're ever present in the actual mindset of what happens inside that office on a day-to-day basis or inside that organization. The second thing is now how that gets personified in each individual. And we have what we're called 12 core attributes of what it is to be an A-team member for our organization. And those, again, aren't just virtues that you talk about once or a personality test and then you put it in your drawer. These are a set of behaviors. You understand that an attribute as well as core values need to be behaviors that are acted on. This is a standard of like, here's how we act here. And those become even more important the bigger the organization goes. This is how you keep a larger organization on the same hymnal. You got to know what is inside that hymnal, and it is these 3 core values and these 12 core attributes. And so every quarterly review we do, it is based on how you're living up to those core attributes. We have each of our team members nominate one person who demonstrated each of the 12 core attributes the best in the past quarter, and then the aggregate votes are number one badass AT member of the quarter. So we're constantly referring to and living out and giving recognition and praise and doing training on and sending out memos and referencing either one of the 3 core values or one of the 12 core attributes about how we behave and how we act and how we show up and how we perform on a regular daily basis. So then with those clear, now you know exactly how to hire. You know who you're looking for. It's like, if those that have read The Compound Effect know, when I was ready to be married, I sat down with an empty journal and I wrote out 40 pages of exactly what I wanted in the ideal woman, man, down to the texture of her hair and the philosophy that she had on major topics and subject matters and so forth. And because I was so clear, I could walk in any restaurant, I could walk in any bar, I could walk in down any beach and know instantly whether she was there or not. But you have to have that clarity. Same thing you want when you're hiring. You should be able to look across the desk and know within a couple few minutes whether this person is or isn't right for your organization, because you have that clarity. So you got to do the hard work up front, and then hiring becomes rather easy. We teach an entire funnel process because a big part of getting really, really great people is to get a large volume in which to select from, and then knowing exactly how to vet and evaluate so that you then end up with the cream of the crop. And then there's a whole series of ways of trying to discover whether they're a decoy, whether they're a professional interviewer or not. So that's a whole long process. And we give you the step-by-step formula within the Business Masterclass and all the scripts and all how to orchestrate the whole thing. But it starts out with the clarity up front of knowing exactly what it is that you're looking for and what personality expression you want to have your organization be made up of. And you do that by establishing and getting clear on and integrating it into the operating system of your organization, your 3 core values and 12 core attributes.